Hey folks, I'm just wanting to give you a short video of how I did my vinyl siding since I'm a do-it-yourselfer. Yeah, I make mistakes, but I probably save a lot of money. Me and my wife just put vinyl siding on our house, and I wanted to show you a few of the tools that we made, for getting the siding done because I couldn't really find a place. Maybe I didn't search hard enough on the internet. So the first tool and the best tool that we bought was this saw. I think it's $200 at Lowe's. And you have to buy a special saw blade to cut through vinyl siding. Here's a piece of vinyl siding, right here. And obviously cut. If you want to zoom in here. This is the saw blade. It costs $10. It's just a fine tooth blade. I don't know how many teeth per square inch it has, but anyways, you can't go without this tool. This was worth its money. You just quickly be able to saw something or the vinyl siding real quick. If you had lots of things that are the same length or close to it, you can just mark and go. The next thing that we used, or you can never go without too much screwdrivers. You'll need them when you're taking off outlets or faucets, you name it. You've got to have screwdrivers, both kinds. Of course, safety glasses, especially when you're sawing. One useful tool that my father-in-law showed me, I don't even know what this is called. I'll call it an angle finder, that's what we call it. When you need to know the angle at which to cut when you're on a roof peak, you go ahead and say this is the peak coming down. You go ahead and put your angle finder on that, and then you see the level, you go ahead and you make it level, to wherever you need, and then that's your angle. And then you come to your piece of siding, and you'll already know the length that you need by using your common sense. And you'll go ahead and just, make a line with a marker, and go straight up, and then you'll have to cut. Obviously, it'd be pretty hard to cut this with a saw, so you'd have to use tools like we use tin snips. These, I don't know if they're $10, $25. I don't know, at Lowe's. Most stuff, by the way, Home Depot is the place to go. Don't go to Lowe's. And you just cut right along. Cuts real easy. And where's our markers? You can use a dry erase marker. I suggest that because if you make a mistake, you can just kind of scribble it out. If you use a permanent marker, you don't want to have a black permanent marker on your siding. Not good. Next tool, you'll always have siding that you'll need to take apart. Like siding will come together like this when it's on the wall. And if it's all nailed up, it's extremely hard to take it off. But this, it's called a side swiper too. It costs like $7 or $8. You just get in there and you're able to pull the siding out. Kind of hard to do it without it being really nailed up on the wall. Very good tool to have. We went actually without having this tool the whole time and kind of wrestled along. But I figure I should get it because if I ever have siding that's get cracked in the future or something, this would be extremely nice to have. This is a special tool for vinyl siding. Another special tool for vinyl siding is called a snap lock punch. When you get to the very top of your roof, say the top of your roof ends here, and your siding ends there, you're going to have that much siding that you're going to have to put there. And you don't want to nail it up because it's going to look ugly. You'll have your J channel, and how J channel works, you're just going to have to YouTube another video. But you'll have your J channel here, and if you've got that much siding that you need, you're not going to nail it up because you want the siding to be up in here. So what you do is you use a snap lock punch right here, and you'll go ahead and cut the width that you need, and then you'll go along and you'll just use the snap lock punch tool. I'll just show you a couple of times. This is what it will look like. And this angle right here is, don't mind this. This is just for demonstration. And if it were to go up in the roof, it'll just Go up in here in the J channel. That's the reason why it's called the J. It's got a little J right there. And that will go and snap up in there. See that? Real nice. And it looks like a well done job. Sometimes if your cut ends up being on an inward angle of these angles, it's going to want to always come in and not catch that J channel. So what you do is you just grab a piece of siding, an old piece of siding that you've got cut up somewhere. Sometimes you have to cut a brand new one. And it doesn't matter how ugly it looks, you can just get it in there. It's just a spacer to take up space, and then you just nail it up. And then you'll be able to shove that in there, and it'll be able to catch. So that's what a snap lock punch tool, you need it. It's like 14 to 20 bucks, I think, off of eBay is where I got it. We didn't know what it was for, but definitely a tool that you need. I think you do every 3 inches or 6, I don't know. You'll have to Google that as well. Another tool that is specifically for J-channel is, I think they're called J-channel clippers. And what they're for is when you're doing like a frame around a window or a corner, you're able to make precise cuts. So our J-channel, I think, is, I want to say 1 inch, and so the inside is a little less than 1 inch. And so you got to buy the right clippers that will fit on the inside of your J-channel. And so when you clip, you can go ahead and just clip once, and that'll allow you to have this lip. So if you're going to go around a window frame and say this is the left side of your window, you'll be able to have that clip go in there, and it'll look nice. On how exactly that works, you're going to have to YouTube that as well. There's plenty of videos out there to show you different ways that you can go around frames and get corners of J-channel to come together. But this video is just about tools that you'll need for vinyl siding. Very needful tool. What? My wife's video on me, sorry.
It clips all the way as well.
Oh yeah, and you can clip it all the way. And you'll need that as well. And it's got marks on it, so usually you'll go to the inch mark. Cut it out. Bam. If you don't, we went for the first little bit without this. It was horrible. And we used just some neutral snips, tin snips, and cutting in there. You can do it, but it gets real annoying. So the best thing to have is those J-channel clippers. Another tool you'll need is this for just the little detailed stuff that you can get in there and clip. Very useful tool. You'll need that. I already told you about these. Another useful tool is if I don't know if me and my wife aren't perfect in our measurements, but when we got to the very top and we're putting our last piece of siding on, the width of it, say on one end of the house was 6 inches, and on the other end it was 5. So you're going to have kind of a slope going on. So I would measure one end at 5 and the other at 6, and then we'd use chalk line, and we'd get it and snap it, and very useful tool. And then we'd cut with these guys. For the more intricate cuts that going around, what comes to mind is our electric meter, and the way it was set up was kind of required a lot of work, and I really didn't want to try to do everything. So Dremel tool would have been nice, but I'm too cheap for that. But instead I just use my grinder here, just a regular blade here, or use a cutting blade. That'd be even better. It also makes things go real fast if you only got one pair of snips and somebody's using them. And obviously, hammer. You can't do the job without a hammer. Since we were going over old masonite siding, we used 2-inch nails to reach the studs. Most people, if they're just going on a brand new house, you'd only need inch roofing nails probably. And that's what we got here. This is the smallest box we got. We used probably 20, I think 5 or 6 of these boxes, and they're 5 pounds a piece, so maybe 20 pounds or 25, 30 pounds of nails. So roofing nails look like this, just in case you didn't know. They're awesome. Another thing, hacksaw. When you're putting up like your corner pieces, or you got, say your siding ends here, you got a little piece stuck out, it's just real easy to make a nice straight cut with the hacksaw. Very, very simple and easy. Obviously, another thing is tape measures. This one, I really like this one because it gives me the fine measurements. I hate to think about, you know, which 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. It tells me right here. But obviously you can't do the job without a tape measure. Now, every now and then you'll need to do some caulking around your windows and your J-channel. Another thing that comes to mind is when we're going around the hoses going to our outside AC unit. You know, we couldn't get a perfect cut the way it was, you know, going, so we used clear silicone sealant for outdoors, and we just filled it up, and I'm sure it's going to last forever. Another thing that we used was a level when we were, sorry, the kids running outside. When you're trying to get your first piece of siding down, I don't got the tool with me, but you want it to be level and straight at the bottom, so you need a level. And the last thing is, you might not need this much, but you'll always have need of a drill. Always have need of a drill. And I think that's about it. Trying to look at everything. Definitely a good tool. You need the saw with the right blade, and that'll get you a good start. I think we spent about probably, between all of this, $200 at a minimum for the saw, you know, and maybe another $200 for the rest of the tools. Hope that helps, folks, and thanks for watching.